What is going on, everybody, and welcome to the Mad Skills Motocross World Championship 2018. I'm Parla, and I will be your desk host for the duration of this event, and I'm joined by the wonderful Joe and Justin. How's it going, guys?
Hello.
Great to have you here.
What's up, fella?
Good to see you both. Do you want to give a bit of background on yourselves to everybody watching?
Sure. So I'm Joe. Some of you guys know me as Joe Mama.
I'm sure they
Fast.
do. I'm sure they do.
You guys know me as basically the track guy. I make most of the tracks. Justin and I also are the faces of the Turborilla show, which we have every Tuesdays on Twitch. So we've just been kind of working with Turborilla, making tracks, making games.
We build the tracks, we build the things, we have fun.
Yeah, we're talking about tracks in-game, by the way, not like rap music or anything like that, just to clarify
we
quickly.
have freestyled on the stream before. So
yeah, you guys
that has been a thing,
run that podcast together, right?
Yeah.
And so how did that come together? How did you guys meet? And how's it going at the moment?
How did we? I mean, we met through the game,
Yeah,
right?
we met through the game. Just as typicals, I've met all these crazy people in chat. And Joe came up with this crazy idea that we would do a show recapping the jam results from every week, and that's what it turned into. So I was like, you know what, let's turn this into something more. So.
And he already was streaming on a lot of Mad Skill stuff on his Twitch account, so I thought, well, let's just kind of do what
I've been
you
doing
do,
it a couple years, so
make it a little bigger, better, and let's move it to the Turborilla Twitch.
And how good is Justin at the game, Joe? Be honest.
Not bad.
Mediocre at best.
Yeah. I'm nothing like these guys you're going to see today.
Awesome,
But
yeah.
I'm right under that.
And talking about that, we have 12 guys from across the world that have made it here. How were they selected, by the way, to everybody at home, just so we can clarify?
So the top three winners from last year were automatically invited back. So the top three from last year, obviously the world champ was Bragstad.
Yep.
Second place was Master 52. And then filling in the third place spot, who technically got fourth place last year, third place was disqualified, is Zach, ZSE 743. All the other slots, majority of them came from, we had a contest in Jam, top 64 from that Jam round, moved to a tournament round. It was 1v1 tournament style, and we took 8 players from that. So that leaves us with 11. And the 12th player came from the cash game. We have cash modes. You can bet some money, win some real money.
Yeah,
and,
I mean, we can talk about that more later, because I've heard some very interesting things about that mode. And Justin, what do you think about the 12 guys that we have here in the competition? Are these the best of the best? Are they the top 12?
I'll tell you this. Just from when we did, as Joe was talking about the qualifier, we started with 64 guys. And watching these guys, like there's a couple of these names, I won't mention any, that just absolutely destroyed on the bracket. There was no catching them. And that's basically these guys right here. If I was going into war with them and I needed somebody fast on a motocross bike, I'd pick a couple of these guys. So.
Awesome.
Yeah, they're good.
And how much time at this level of the game? Because, of course, at this point we're talking about esports, and, you know, we have so many players across the world competing and wanting to be in a position like this. And when it comes to Mad Skills Motocross, how much time are these guys putting in? Of course, we'll go into more detail later, but what's the general history of these players? How long have they been playing, etc.?
Well, everyone knows Master 52, James Lambert. He's
veteran of the game.
The OG of...
he's been playing since 2010.
Yeah, when we first did,
when I started.
We first did tournament mode in the original game. He kind of came out from the start and was just killing it. And he was like undefeated for I think years or something. Mm-hmm. So he's just kind of been destroying. But there's so many top names in here. You got Zach, Sir Scrubs-a-Lot's repeat from last year.
Yeah.
Cudla's back from last year. Bragstad's the reigning champ. I mean, some of these guys are putting in multiple hours a day playing.
Yeah, well, of course, they are going to have to show that hard work can pay off. And right now, we'll show exactly what they will be going through over the next 2 days. So today is day 1, and we're starting off now with just some general talking and giving you guys what's to come. And then we have 6 matches, 6 rounds, I should say. They happen over a period of about 45 minutes, right, guys? Yep. And we have some analysis to go along with that, and of course, illustrating to you guys at home exactly what's happening. And then day 2 follows in a similar way, but then we get into the bracket, and that's what you can see on screen now. It is a double elimination, so we have a winner's bracket and a loser's bracket, and it all culminates in a winner's grand final tomorrow at 8 p.m. A long way to go, though, before we get there.
There's a whole lot going on.
A lot of sore thumbs from
Indeed, indeed. We also have a point system, and so you can see that on screen now. It's pretty self-explanatory and simple, and so from 1st to 12th, you see a descending amount of points starting from 20 down until 1. Of course, being a large competition. The World Championship of 2018 for Mad Skills Motocross. We had to put some money on the line, and overall, it is $30,000. And if you finish in that first place, you get a whopping $10K all for yourself. And guys, this is very potentially, right, the first time that some of these guys have competed for it. Well, we know that. But then some of the others, the more veteran players, they played last year, and they're also playing the cash mode that you have in game. But sure, certainly there's a lot of pressure on these guys' shoulders because of that prize pool.
Absolutely, and that's one thing that me and Joe talked about on the nice little plane ride over is, there is several guys here that were here from last year, and they kind of know what to expect, the pressure. And there's last year was an hour they had, so this year
on each track.
This year they've only got 45 minutes. So that can change some stuff, because I've seen guys, even when we were doing our 64-man qualifier, you had a lot of guys that were kind of just struggling towards the first, and we had one guy who just did not quite make it in, but he was one round away, and he was able to kill it in the last 5 seconds. And he topped the time in the last 5 seconds and made it through the next round. So
that's what's so crazy, right?
That's what gets nuts.
Like the margin for error, but also then the margin that there is to improve. Like you can change everything in such a small amount of time, right, Joe?
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, it really is going to come down to the end here, and I think that someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the way it's working is when the buzzer goes out on these guys, they have to put their device down. They can't finish the run.
There is no run finish.
So say a lap is averaging a minute, and there's only 55 seconds left.
Yeah.
They don't have time to do a whole new run, so they've got to be able to know when their last run is going to be.
They've got to be economic with their time, right? And they've got to use the time that they do have wisely. And do you think having so that's like 25% less time per track compared to last year? Do you think that's playing on their minds, knowing that they have to be even more
I very well
divisive?
think it could be. Yeah, I think it's going to get interesting just to see how it plays out, even from the start. I know every single one of these guys are good enough; they can adjust. They can do what they need to in the 45 as opposed to the hour, but we'll see what happens, man. I'm excited.
Yeah, and let's also tell everybody at home that the tracks they're playing here are, Joe, completely brand new, things that they've never seen before, right? Yeah,
so we've been working on these tracks for many months. There's 12 brand new tracks. None of these guys have seen these tracks. No one else has seen them other than the track designers. So when they're racing, they're only seeing their own time. They can't see any of their opponents' times. So it's really about how can they figure out the track? How can they find the lines? How are they going to break it down? Will they find the fast line? Will they just try to go for the easy line and get a good time? Or will they just keep restarting to get the best line, the hardest line? Some of these tracks are 35 seconds. Some of them are a minute and 20.
Wow.
There's a different range, anywhere from 1 lap to 3 laps. So it's going to be interesting to see how these guys tackle them.
Yeah, and even, I don't know, man, just we played them. We've had access to them we've been playing a few weeks. And even on the plane, I played one track. I think it was the 3rd track, at least in the list. I never could finish it.
Really? You couldn't even finish the track?
Well, not smoothly. I could not hit the fast line.
Oh, okay, I see. And do you guys then have expectations? Because you know these players very well, right? Mm-hmm. Do you have expectations on how there might be different approaches? Who you think might pick a particular line over another?
There's a few guys here that can reverse engineer tracks so fast it'll blow your mind. And I guarantee you're going to see some guys come out on top a lot faster than others. I predict that for sure, because there's too many guys here that play this too much. I mean, they put in thousands of attempts a week on these tracks during the jams and stuff like that. So it's going to be awesome to see what they do with these. It's going to be fun.
And so the players that are newer to the scene but that are here and competing, and then guys like Master 52, do they have different approaches to the game? And do you think that they kind of can fare better in a situation based on the positives and negatives for each?
I would think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I think, obviously, like, James has probably been playing the longest out of all these guys, I would think.
Yeah.
Even longer than I've been playing. So the way he can look at a track and break it down and figure out the lines, him and Zach are excellent at it. Bragstad is another one who's awesome at breaking down tracks. All these guys are pros, though. They know what they're doing. But it's going to be interesting. Last year, it wasn't Zach. Last year in the final round, DJ Aussie missed the line. The other 2 guys hit the right line. He just couldn't see that line.
He was cranking on the same slow line the entire time, and that's
he got third.
That's what ate him. And it was crazy to watch that.
And
they just don't see it.
Yeah, and are there any rivalries or kind of friendships that we should be looking out for in terms of story, etc., and anybody that might be going at each other more than others?
The only thing I know is Zach is going to want revenge.
Zach's out for revenge.
He's out to win it.
So apparently last year Zach was, he finished high placing. It was fourth, right?
Fourth, yeah.
Fourth,
But
yeah.
he was very disappointed not to make the top 3, and he's coming back with a vengeance this year.
Yep.
Yeah, go look at any tracks that are on there right now on the game, not these, of course, and he's sitting in the top spot pretty much on all of them. It's insane. Even all the tracks that were in the World Championship last year, he's right number 1 at the top side of it, so it's insane.
All right, and so approaching then the first track that we're about to play, can you tell us a bit about it, Joe?
Yeah, let me just pull up my notes here. So this first track, I think is, where did it go? First track here is made by Gavin. It's going to be mountain background, 2 laps. It's called Mad Bro.
Are you mad, bro?
Yeah,
Is the question.
yeah.
It's going to be a fun one, though. It's not... Last year, we kind of started out easy and got harder as it went. And this year, you know, I kind of mixed it up, spread some stuff out. They're going to be hard from the start. Like, we're not...
Yeah, how different are the tracks this year compared to last year? And how do you design a track specifically for the top 12 in the world compared to the average audience playing like myself?
The one thing is, in the game, if you guys aren't familiar, there's 11 bikes in the game. 1 is the slowest, 11 is the fastest. So when we design tracks for the general public, they need to work on the majority of those bikes because not everyone has the fastest bike yet. When I'm designing tracks for the Mad Skills Motocross World Championship, they're all designed for bike 11 because all these guys will be on bike 11.
Yeah.
So I can make tracks that are built for the speed of that bike, and it allows for different lines. I'm also doing things that if I put these tracks in the regular game, some of the players would never even be able to get to the end. Like, they just couldn't finish it because there's some stuff that's so tricky and takes different techniques and maneuvers that these guys are going to do that if you don't do them correctly, you just couldn't get through it.
Yeah.
So these are really going to test all their skills. It's going to test their speed control. Can they use the brakes correctly? Their wheelies, huge whoops, like people like to call them Joe bumps because I kind of just made these ridiculous
I've heard.
Joe
I've
bumps,
heard.
yeah.
whoops. You know, they're gonna be doing tire taps, seat bouncing. There's all these different things that these guys have to pull out in order to get a top time on any of these tracks.
Yeah.
Justin, thoughts?
Well, like I said, I've been playing the tracks for a few weeks. There's definitely some on here. Tire taps are going to be huge. There's some jumps that are so massive, you literally have to like preload that rear suspension to get that seat bounce to clear the jumps. Full speed is a thing. Landing back tire to maintain your speed on landings is going to be huge, and it's in the scrub game is always top dog. So it's going to be amazing. I know the struggle that I had with them, and I see it. I know these guys are just going to blow through them and make me look stupid, and that's perfectly fine because I'm fully prepared for that. So,
Prepared to know that you are nowhere near in terms of skill level with regard to them. And talking about that, who would you say mechanically could be the best of these guys? Not necessarily the guy that's going to win it, but who has the best thumbs? Who has the best geographical sort of understanding when he first sees a map?
God, it's got to be, man.
In my head, I'm saying Zach.
Yeah, Zach. But Master 52.
And no offense to the other guys. All these dudes are killers at this game.
Yeah.
They're unbelievable. But
And Zach's quite young as well, right?
he's 18.
Yeah.
Yep.
Last year he was 17. This year he's 18. He can drink in Sweden.
Yeah.
He can
Finally,
indeed.
he got upgraded this year.
Indeed.
So,
I think if he has reason to celebrate tomorrow, that could be allowed. But today he's got to focus. And, you know, talking a bit more about Zach, what went wrong last year and what can he change this year?
Last year, the track that he got knocked out on was called Fever, and it was hands down the hardest track I think we ever had in the game.
Insane.
Was it yourself that made it, Joe?
It was a guy named Nolan, I believe.
Nolan did that one.
And
he built some technical stuff.
It was one of those tracks that was messy. It was hard to find the line. A lot of speed control. Just like
Multiple
unconventional
lines.
stuff that they had never seen before. When you first opened it, you looked at it and you were like, "What? What do I do? Like, this
you don't
is
even know
a
where to
mess."
start.
Yeah. So I think that's kind of what got him. And he got beat, but he tried hard and he placed well. But this year he's coming.
Any other day of the week, he's number one.
Yeah.
In the game, and it's crazy.
Tell us a bit about general numbers then. So how many people currently and overall have been playing Mad Skills?
So I think the history of Mad Skills Motocross 2, I think we have over 35 million downloads worldwide. Usually from week to week we have a jam mode, which is like the multiplayer mode where you compete against your friends in that. And usually on a weekly basis we have at least 100,000 people playing in there.
Mm-hmm.
But
it's
it's
every
been,
week. Yeah.
I mean, it's been 4 years this game's been out, and we're still cranking on these numbers.
Still killing it.
And so then these guys have had to rise to the top of millions of people.
Yeah.
And for instance, I was talking to James yesterday, Master 52, and he's a guy that's probably the most storied veteran, right, of the game.
Yeah.
And he was telling me that when Mad Skills 1 first came out, he was just playing it on his own at home, and he enjoyed it. And there wasn't a leaderboard at the time. You couldn't really compare yourself to other people. And then when that stuff started coming out, he straight away was placing high, and he's like, oh, wait a second, I'm really good at this
There's
game.
something
you
to
didn't
this.
even know.
It's like every gamer's dream, or at least a person that wants to be competitive and be involved in esports, and he's seen everything develop over time. And so how do you think that compares to how other people have gotten into the game and how they've been able to see that they have a talent at this really technical mobile offering?
I think the Jam really holds a lot for that, because that's where day to day, week to week, every Thursday it gets swapped over. You got new tracks we build, and you get into that. But go back to Master 52. For a lot of the time, people thought he was a myth, because he was
You guys said
so
yesterday
good.
there was a point where you thought he was a bot, right?
Yeah,
A coder.
There's actually a video on YouTube that he created to prove to people that he was not cheating, and it's actually quite hilarious. But going back even to Motocross 1, back it came out in 2010. Yeah, so it's been a while. And I remember I raced against him in the tournament. He finished first. I was only 18th, but whatever. We forgot.
It's in the past.
That's in the past. It doesn't matter.
I can feel the pain is still in your voice, Justin.
Yeah, I know. I hurt. I cry every day, but it's all right. James is a good guy.
Yes.
I beat James on one track. What are we in? Jam week 217 or 218?
Yeah.
We're like over 200. We've had over 200 jam rounds.
weeks,
and one of those I beat James.
Okay. Well, that's quite an achievement, a 0.5% success rate.
But I think that's because he's playing the
200.
cash, so he's not really grinding too much on the regular jams. But
Yeah.
we can say that. I probably beat him too, all
That was
the time.
back before cash, so it was legit.
Oh, yeah, it was, yeah.
That's something that I think is really cool about the game as well, this cash mode that you have, because it's seemingly, after speaking to Master 52, again, and I'm mentioning him because when I arrived yesterday, we were all out having a meal, and he's the guy that I sat down with to get some more info on the game and see what it's like from a pro's perspective. And he plays that regularly, and it really does bring him in some good income. And
some
so
serious cash.
for some of these guys, even though there is a prize pool on the line, they might be used to making some money from it. And, I think that's a fantastic thing. And how could that factor in, Justin?
Well, that's the thing. Some of these guys don't have regular jobs. This is their job.
Yes.
And then, I couldn't imagine doing that because I'm just not that good. But I think that's huge. They know, just taken away from the world championship aspect of it, they play to make the money, so they know what needs to be done. But of course, this is a little higher stage. Yeah. So, but I think they can. I think they can show up and they can do it. That's all they need.
What do you think, Joe?
Keep them thumbs warm.
Yeah, I mean, cash mode's a whole different thing. You're at home, you're sitting on your couch, maybe on the toilet, because that's where half of us play.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's where I learned.
that's where you get the best runs in.
Are we talking
Scientifically
the
proven.
game or other
The
types
game.
of... Okay, cool. Double checking what kind of runs we're talking about here. Yeah.
So, but cash is a totally different animal. It's, they can kind of pick and choose which type of cash mode they want to play, how many attempts they want to do. Is it one attempt, multiple attempts, how much money they want to spend. This is, it's one format. You got to figure it out. You got 45 minutes, a track you've never seen. You're sitting next to all your other rivals.
The guys
the
that you
lights
race
are
against
on,
every day.
palms are sweaty,
Yeah.
Coming from my background in esports as well, I really love the fact that it's very different here when you come to a finals of Mad Skills Motocross where you're playing tracks that you've never seen before.
Yeah.
Whereas in more conventional esports, like for instance, my specific background, CS, everybody knows
Everybody
the map.
knows the map.
Exactly. And you've got to know it in and out, and all of that is kind of set, and there's as little sort of RNG as possible. And then you come here and you have the tracks that you guys have created specifically for this, but that is kind of like the way you optimally test the skill of these guys, right?
Yeah.
How can they approach a new challenge on a track that they've never seen before?
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah, because part of the skill that these guys have to have is learning the track, breaking it down, finding the lines, and that's a whole skill in itself, along with the actual physical skill of playing, pressing the buttons, and all that. So that there's multiple things, and the other skill is the strategy. Like, do they want to go for the fast line right away? Do they want to go for a conservative line and just keep improving their time little by little, or do they want to keep restarting and just try to get that perfect one in that they know will be the top time?
Yeah.
So
it's crazy.
It's tricky.
Especially when you got 45 minutes, because that 45 minutes goes by quick.
That goes by, I mean,
super fast.
When you think about sitting down for a session of any sort of gaming, 45 minutes is minuscule.
Yeah.
And when you're having to play at the best level you can to something you've not seen before, Justin, what's that like?
It's a surprise for one. I know every jam week when it comes around, and I bring that up because that's what I play mostly, and when I first see that track, there's a preview mode, and I like to look through it first. I want to know everything, and I'll work it from the starting or from the finish line back to the start. These guys don't really have that opportunity. It is 100% a surprise. They don't know what to expect, and they know what the tracks were like last year. And we've been messing with them really bad, just trying to get in their head. You know, I just like screwing with everybody. But it's going to be interesting to see how they tackle them. As Joe said, do you go for that line that you know is going to be the fastest, or do you try to start setting a time and then start racing yourself, getting that faster line and getting to where you need to be to get that top time?
Yeah, so we've talked a bit about favourites. By the way, the first track will be starting quite soon, but we do have a bit more time to talk. We've talked slightly about favourites. Who do you think could be the dark horses of the competition? Guys that are maybe not necessarily seen as front runners, but could potentially sneak a top 3 placing by the end of tomorrow.
If I am going to, I hate to predict, and this means nothing against anyone, but just from watching what we watched in the 64-man bracket that we pulled down, Pekla was unreal. Like it was one of those things where everybody that he was paired up against, he was just destroying them. So I could see him coming out as, because he wasn't here last year.
And where's Pekla from?
He's from Italy.
Italy, yeah.
Oh, okay,
Florence,
cool.
Italy, I believe.
Yeah.
You have like a very strong global community, right? I know
insane.
most of our players competing here from the US, but then we've got a player from Colombia, a player from Italy, Finland, right?
Finland?
Yeah.
Finland, Norway. Is there a Norway?
Bragstad's from Norway.
Yeah.
And then you got Italy. Yeah, these guys, I mean, they're from all over the place.
Yeah, so Pekla is one of those guys. I think Zelli, I mean, he's always been good. Leo's been good. Like, some of these guys have been good for as long as I can remember.
Can pop out.
And talking about Lorenzo, we are jumping in to game and track number 1, and we're spectating him right now. And so, guys, at any point, feel free to start kind of dissecting what we have in front of us. This first track is Mad Bro. You guys previewed it to me. I think it was earlier today. I think, did we see it last night as well, Joe?
I sure did,
Yeah,
and
so what he's doing here is actually racing against his ghost time.
Yes.
So his best time that he set, he will be racing against that. And it's going to give him a kind of an observational reference point to where he needs to be if he's playing faster than his previous time. But as you can see with this track, there's so many lines and possibilities.
So, see, for me, Justin, I look at this and I can't tell straight away that there are so many lines. So, like, how does that work? How do you straight away recognize the different things that you can do? Is it to do with the way the track is laid out, or is it to do with how he's already racing on it?
Yeah, I've played so much that I used to put in a couple thousand attempts on each track every week. So I was playing it quite a bit. And what I do is you can see, because like I've been playing Joe's tracks for so long, I know how he builds them, so I kind of know where I need to be on the things. If I see a table, is he wanting me to ride the back tire on top of that table? Does he want me to go in between the tables? Do I need to tire tap this, tire tap that? Am I going to go down into like a triple spine? Do I need to double that, or do I need to triple it to run me into the next section? So it really is a lot of just knowing the mechanics of the game, and really being able to figure out how a line will work best for the situation.
So I'll tell you right here, what he's doing, he keeps restarting and hitting the same line right off the bat, and I can tell you right now,
it's the slower
line.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he's found the faster line. It doesn't look like he's even trying it. We'll see who this is here, and we'll see if they're hitting the correct line.
Yeah, we'll get that name up on screen.
So he's taking the
shortly.
Same slow line. Okay.
Oh, this is Lapo.
Lapo.
Yeah, this is Pekka.
Some of these guys haven't found the fast line yet, and I'm sure they will.
Yeah, he's just sitting there grinding.
And generally, track to track, does it differ a lot with regards to these guys' speed at picking it up and finding those good lines? Like, can you, Joe, after you've made track, expect, I think this will take X amount of tries, or 10 to 15 minutes before they find line? Or does it vary a lot with regards to how fast these guys can pick things up?
It varies a lot, but the other thing that's surprising is that I'll make a track, and I know the lines that are in there, and I have an idea of how I want them to run the track. And after I release it and watch what they're doing, sometimes they do things in the track that I never intended for them to do, and they find lines that I thought were impossible.
Yeah.
So that's why today's going to be interesting, because I've been trying to make these tracks and test them for months, And making the tracks for this event is incredibly hard for me because I'm nowhere near as good as these guys are.
Yeah.
So when I have to test these, I'm just playing through them, trying to test them, and it's hard for me to get a good time on these because they're so incredibly difficult. So sometimes I make stuff in here that I'm like, I think this is possible,
Oh my
but
gosh,
I'm not
look
sure.
at this.
That's a monster.
So it'll be interesting.
Yeah,
to
I think
see.
he's getting it figured out. Is this a 2-lapper? I couldn't remember.
2-lapper, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so he's really, you can tell how focused he is. Now, that right there is sometimes a move you can do, a nice little back scrub. So what that does is it keeps you some momentum going, but also allows you to not have to brake when you're coming off of a jump if you need to short jump it.
But
So
there he was doing it just as a brake check, so
Yeah.
he didn't wheelie back and
Yeah.
flip over.
So within scrubbing then, there are different variations of scrub. So you said that was a back scrub, right? Where he's
Yeah,
almost
pretty much,
flipping
yeah.
backwards.
Yeah, there's sometimes when you have to do like this crazy backflip right over a thing where your head is just millimeters from tapping the dirt. So
Getting a little haircut, a little
yeah,
shave.
it's crazy. Yeah,
That's a nice improvement for him.
that's a pretty good time. So now basically they'll do is what you'll see is as soon as somebody really feels like they've got the line, they got the one that they think they need to do, they will really start grinding it and fine tuning and making sure that everything that they're doing is absolutely 100% accurate to
Ooh,
there's a good one.
So pay attention to what they're doing here in the beginning. Okay, so now he's going to try to start. Okay,
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
the line you
that's
want
the
right
line.
there.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
So that's the difference. So
Yep.
he just found
so
it.
you don't
I don't
have
know.
to mess with that.
I don't know what made him think, oh, let me try this new line.
Yeah, all right, we got
but,
Kudla
but
here.
He nailed it. So Kudla hasn't even set a time yet. You can see because he's not playing against himself.
Yeah, Kudla also builds tracks for the game too. So he,
okay.
He didn't build any of these tracks, guys.
yeah,
don't
he didn't
worry.
build any.
Yeah, I
of
was
these.
going to say, that sounds like a conflict of
Yeah,
interest.
Kudla built all of these tracks. No,
Yeah.
but yeah, Kudla's a track builder as well, and looks like he's already dialing in the fast line. So this is really where it starts getting interesting when you see these guys.
So in this case, he's the kind of guy who knows the fast line, and he's just trying to nail time down.
Okay.
It doesn't look like he's really just trying to lay down any old time because he still hasn't put a time down. It's been 6 minutes.
Yeah. So you feel like he's already picked what he thinks is the best
Yes.
line and then going with it. And is he on what would you say is the best line, Joe?
This is pretty sloppy run, so no, this
Yeah.
isn't.
Yeah.
Definitely not. Let's see. He's doing
That
the tire tap right
there
there,
is
and you
huge.
need and it lands you.
You've
so
got to
you're-
clear that.
Yeah.
You got to triple this thing. So it's tire tap, and
Just
then you
make
triple it, and
Yeah.
that's the fast line. But it is not.
Yeah, I
easy
was
to do.
grinding on this one day before yesterday, and to hit that tire tap right there is
It looks
it's
very
insane.
difficult. There's like a small margin for error, right?
Yes, yeah. If you're leaning back too far or too forward too far, you're not going to hit it. You'll clear it over, and then you'll be hitting that restart button over and over.
Yeah.
The thing about this is, though, that's one of the trickiest sections of the track, and because it's the first part of the track, it makes it a little easier because they can just try it, restart. Where if this was like the last obstacle in the track,
Yeah.
that's just brutal.
And so what's the approach right away on this first jump then? Does he need to slow down a bit? How far is he needing to lean forward? Because it looks like,
Well-
we've said that there's such a small
Yes.
margin for error. Like, what
There it
is
is.
the correct way of doing this?
So you'll see he's wheeling up the first jump, and he needs to wheelie up the first jump,
Oh.
and then that puts it so his back tire,
Oh,
his
man,
bike's
these are
almost
stretched.
vertical, so that allows him to smack his back tire on the next
Just enough.
jump
Yeah.
to pop him up over the hill. So it requires you to wheelie up the first takeoff, which is pretty difficult to do because it's a pretty big, long takeoff.
Yeah.
The
It's-
steeper and longer the takeoff, the harder it's going to be to wheelie up it.
Yeah.
So you'll see him. You need to wheelie up this,
There it is.
and then tire tap.
Tire
Yep,
tap,
that's
yeah.
it.
That's
Perfect.
nice
perfect
That's
there,
it.
yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So hopefully he can finish this run and just kill it.
Yeah.
Okay, because that is, you've said, the
There,
most
he's
technical
good,
part
man.
of this run.
Good right there.
Yeah, he's
Boom.
killing it.
Perfect.
Ooh.
Some of these jumps are such a stretch. He's got it. Yep. He's killing it. What so on the
Ooh,
second
we're so
lap
smooth.
on this track? Is there a different? Does it roll you on a different line?
Oh, it's a second
no,
lap as well.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
You just don't have to do the tire tap.
What do you do there, Joe?
Oh no.
Well, I think the fast line in here is bouncing out of the whoops, which I
Oh,
think
okay.
I told the guys there was no whoop bounces, but maybe I'm not
Cheeky,
always
very
honest.
cheeky.
with
Yeah.
them.
Sometimes you just got
Never trust the map designer. They always have Easter eggs.
All right, so this
See,
is
so
the second
here
lap.
you
Let's
just
see.
don't. If you're coming in with full speed, you don't have to tire
You
tap.
don't have to tire tap because
and
you can make it over.
I think you could just make that triple.
Wow.
But now he's on
Yeah.
the slower
Now
line
he's back
this
on the
lap.
slow line, and now
Oh.
he's
Is
short
he
on
going to
that.
restart or is he going to finish it? If
Nah.
I were him, I would just
I would
finish
finish
it
it
Get a
out so you
time
have a
down.
reference.
Ooh.
No.
out. Yeah,
That's
he's-
something that I think is a cool point, is that the way the dynamic changes of going between a one lap
One lap track.
lap
Yeah,
to
yeah.
a 2 lap track.
It changes everything.
Exactly, where your approach then coming into the second lap is a lot different because, of course, you're starting off at a different speed, and then the line then is different, right?
Yeah, and what really grabs you by the horns is when you think you're racing a 2-lapper, and all of a sudden there's a lap 3, and now you got a whole new set of problems. So that happens to me a lot. So, all right, so it looks like he's set a time. We're looking at Sir Scrubs a lot right here. Josh is killing it.
Paul, there's a guy in the chat that said, Paula, WTF. Told you there was going to be someone that pops in. He's like, what are you doing?
Hello. Welcome. Welcome to the
That's
Mad
great.
Skills Motocross World Championship 2018.
Having fun.
It's really interesting so far to see the differences in how these guys are playing, because even if there are similar lines going on, you can see that they are doing the same things mechanically, and they're trying to push the mechanics as far as they can. And like the small little things that they're doing, like here at the start, it looks like he's got a good line, but it is very different to what we've seen before in terms of like the little details, right?
Yeah, so
he's missing the tire tap.
He's missing the fast line.
Yeah.
But someone could still win if they put in a banger time on the slow line.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that happen.
Yeah, it looks like he's not even trying to.
No, he doesn't even see it.
Yeah. And honestly, sometimes the fast line is extremely hard. So when it comes down to it, you can take that gamble and nail that slower line, albeit it's going to be a slower time, but you could have it nailed down so perfectly that it could compete with the thing, depending on the track, of course.
Yeah.
That's going to be a difference. Oh, man, that jump right there is a stretch. And we're looking at ZSE 743 right now.
Yeah, Zach.
He's got that tire tab down. So it looks like his previous time was set on a different line. So now...
Man, I thought he was killing it right there. Look at his expression, though, when he hit that.
He's very...
I know, he knew it. He knew it, yeah.
If anyone wants it, Zach wants it more than anyone. I can tell you that
Look
right
at
now.
his style, though. So watching Zach, a lot of the guys will play... You see them moving a lot around in the air. They're doing all this and that. Zach is so...
Is he going for the whoop bounce? Yeah, he went for it, but
he missed it. Yeah. And now he's back on the slow line. So look at him flipping, doing some...
He's trying to get a little tire
making it pretty.
up, yeah.
So...
See, right there, he's thinking, if I keep going, will I be able to beat my ghost? Probably not. Restart.
Yep. And he missed the tire tap. Yeah. So, but watching Zach's style, you can...
Ooh, that's like he barely kept it there.
You can pick his style out of a lineup because he's so smooth. He's just such a nice straight shot. But they still have over 30 minutes left, so they still got plenty of time to lay these down. Like I said,
even between his ghost and his current run, there are these small little changes that he's made, and they and he's back and forth with it as well.
That's good.
He wants that
nice
so bad.
scrub.
He knows what he's got to do. Zach knows what he's got to do to make this
still
happen.
good.
Nice
He knows there's a speed check right there.
He
He missed it a little.
Just slow. That's
He's
all
still
right.
fine.
Yeah, he'll be
still
all right.
good.
He's got to hit this big.
Nope, no good.
Look at him. Stay focused.
He's getting the hang of it, though.
Yeah, he is.
And he knows the fast line, which is key.
He
Some of
does.
these guys are still trying to figure out the
That's
fast
a nice
line.
tire tap there.
Yeah, he's got that tire tap so smooth. But
at
this,
this-
look at that scrub.
Wow.
Look at this guy. Getting over to that.
Wow,
So this
he's
right here, some of these guys are going to whoop bounce. Where what they do is they lean back in the whoops,
Yeah.
and it'll bounce them out so that they can jump over
over
the
that
next
wall.
jump.
over that final wall at the
Yeah,
end,
yeah.
right? Out of the last
Yeah, so
loop.
that really it changes your line so drastically. And a lot of the times when we build the tracks, it's meant to be in there. We want
Yeah.
those to be in there because it
Here we
takes
go.
some
Come up
serious
with it now.
control to be able to do it. He's going to do it.
Right
it
there.
is.
Oh,
So he
that
just
was
bounced
he went too
over.
far though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think you can actually
So
make it
make
all
it
the way.
over the edge.
Can you?
I think you can.
But
Yeah.
he's doing that from like the second to last loop. Should he be doing it from the last?
If he did it
one,
from the
or-
last whoop, then he probably could
Yeah.
clear it over
Yeah.
that next,
Yeah,
double over. But it's really that whoop bounce thing is. Some of these guys will tell you it's kind of a luck thing. Like
Yeah, it's
you
bit-
kind of lean forward, then lean back,
See
and then
right
bounce
here?
like
So now
that.
he's going to slow and now he's going to try to stretch. He's got it.
So
Oh,
now,
nice
he's
stretch.
on.
But you got to tire tap that to get over into that one.
so
This track is insane,
Man, this
Joe.
track's nuts.
Who built
Yeah.
this one? This is Gavin?
I think Gavin. Let me double check.
Gavin typically builds some pretty
gnarly tracks.
pretty gnarly tracks. Yeah, it's got a lot
Yeah.
of technical stuff in
This
it.
is
So.
Gavin.
But that's the thing, though. Looking at just
Gavin's from the UK.
from the UK, yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. Like looking at the tracks in and of themselves, they don't look that hard. But when you really try to start nailing down the actual line, the fast line that's intended by the track builder, it can get insane because
This
you
one's
look.
looking really spicy.
Yeah, it's doing it. Here he goes.
Oh, Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's
But
trying.
look
He
at how
knows.
focused he is. Look at
Yeah.
his head down.
Dude,
He's close to the
yeah.
phone. You know,
He
like
does.
he does not mess around when he's playing.
That's how he plays.
And this time he's gone without a tyre tap.
Yeah.
Guys, we're going to get up the current leaderboard now so we can see exactly where everybody is
Oh,
placing.
look at this.
And it's James Mars 52
Wow.
right up at
Wow.
the top, and then we've got Zach in second and Bragstad in
So those are your
third.
top 3 that came in from last year.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And
I
between
told you, I
those
knew that would
three,
be a
there's
thing.
like 2 seconds, I think it was, of time.
God,
And then
look
we
at that,
start
dude.
seeing things
So
space
Nate's
out a
in
bit.
4th. We got Lido in 5th. Bittis is in 6th.
Oh,
Peplo
Bidis-
rocking that 2nd. or
But it's
7th,
maybe riding some motocross in real life as well there,
Yeah.
judging by the picture.
Yep. Got Sir Scrubs in 8th. Cuddles rocking that 9. We got Low in 10th. Zealy in 11th. Man, these guys.
Who hasn't set
somebody
a
has
time?
not set a time. So we're looking
Who's not
at
on there?
Was Leo on there?
Yeah, was he? Maybe it's Leo.
And just to quickly go back
Yeah.
to Lorenzo, so on the screen is WFO I-90 MX part.
Yep.
Apparently, that second portion of his name is due to a sponsorship he has, right? And so
Yeah.
he's sponsored by a real-life motocross part, which is, I mean, how regularly do you see that
It's pretty
individual
crazy.
sponsorships
Yeah.
in the
I don't
sport?
think
I've
I
never
have.
seen
This
that
is
before.
the first time I've heard
Yeah.
of it. Yeah. So I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I
I wonder
wish
how
someone
he,
would
how
sponsor
he
me.
worked that out and and what exactly it entails. But I think that's fantastic to see that these guys, these esports pros, are having that come to them as well. And do you think that
Yeah.
could increase in the future? Like, what's kind of like happening with regards to Mad Skills Motocross esports in general? Because I think it's fantastic that we've got this event on, and there could be even more. And
Yeah.
I think there's even more space to increase the competitiveness and how many people are getting involved.
Yeah.
I think so, and we've done a lot of special jam events too, where we get sponsors. Like I know Atlas Brace was one of them. You know, they make like braces, like neck braces and that
Yeah.
for motocross riders. So we had events where they'll compete in jam, and winners win like real stuff from Atlas, or you know, we've had other what are some of the other companies?
And
we've
Joe,
had?
just whilst you're talking, please do continue your point. We have the 2 best runs on screen currently.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
So we'll see which runs. So we do have 2 different lines
Totally
that we're
separate
taking here.
Yeah. Yeah. What was the Red Bull helmet was in the game?
I don't know why the side is stuck on there like that.
Ooh.
Whoa!
Oh, wow.
Oh my God, so that's the
That one's too much. That's a lot of up on that though. That can't be right.
that was the line that Zach was trying to take that
Yeah.
Master 52 absolutely crushed
Yeah.
coming off the whoop, right?
Looks like it. Yeah. Oh boy. Oh man. Wow.
So this it's interesting too. It tells you who the camera's following. Right now this is following Master 52.
Yeah. God, look how good he is.
Let's see that
It's
lap 2
amazing.
transition. You just nailed it.
Yeah. Yeah, you see James doing a lot of bike adjustments in the air as well.
Yeah.
You'll see a lot of players do that. So that really sets you up for landing.
Yeah, okay.
James is unbelievable at scrubs. In fact, was he the one that recorded that one track that he rode on his back tire the whole time?
Yeah, his front tire never touched the
Never
ground.
touched it the
Really?
entire time, yeah. It was unreal. So his ability to control the bike in every aspect, whether it's accelerating, leaning, braking, he's got it down.
But I'm watching this and I'm seeing a ton of mistakes. So there is
Yeah.
like unbelievable amounts of room for improvement right
Yeah.
How many seconds would you say could potentially be shaved off?
now.
I could see
10.
a couple.
Like-
You think 10?
like-
Yeah.
like
10
there's-
seconds?
Yeah, there's a lot
Yeah.
of time on there.
Wow. Okay, I wasn't expecting so much. Now,
It's a lot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Speaking to Master 52 yesterday and then speaking to him today, even though he is one of the veterans of the game, arguably the most storied guy, he said this morning he was feeling nervous. And so I can only imagine that some of the newer guys, and especially when people like him are involved, how difficult it is for them to get involved
Yeah.
and to keep their heads in the game.
Yeah. Well, it probably
at
didn't
this
help that I
event.
kept going in there and messing with him too. I try to make him nervous.
Oh, so Zach is 5 seconds,
So
just about
wow,
4.9
So
seconds. in the lead.
Master, we were just talking. I said 10 seconds off Master 52's previous time. He's already shaved off
5
Zach's already
seconds.
shaved off 5. So
Yeah.
off of his.
yeah. So
Zach.
we'll see if anyone, if I was right, we'll see someone getting a 112.
That would be insane. It would be absolutely insane. But yeah, they're
What's
definitely.
the fastest time been in the testing of the track?
Probably.
Well, because we were doing it, so probably about 8.5 minutes, 9, maybe not. It wasn't that bad, but
I mean, I can look up
No,
and see.
yeah,
what
Yeah,
our
take
yeah,
a
look
look.
and
So I
see.
think it would be
Be interesting to see what the times are in
Cool to
here.
compare them for sure.
Yeah, because I mean, seriously, these guys. They are on a different level. That's why they're here.
Yeah.
So it's
Now we've got Bragstad.
watching these guys do what they do. It's
Our tester best time was the guy who made the track with 1:22.
Wow, so they're already crushing that,
1:22?
like the top 4 or
Yep.
so.
and my time.
And they did that in 20 minutes.
Oh,
And these guys, we've had weeks to play these.
Yeah.
So it's kinda
I
crazy.
think I played with Rockets, and I finished it in 1:09. So
Okay.
get on
With
my
Rockets.
level, boys.
Get
Let's
on my
do
level
this.
with the
Yeah.
Rockets.
I like how I did it with Rockets.
Oh,
and I was
look at
Oh,
that.
nice.
So he did
Oh, wow.
the tie tap from the 3rd from last Whoop. We haven't seen that line yet, I don't
Still,
think.
the
Yeah.
line after that it's tricky.
Bragstad is notorious for being one of the guys that will build a track and he'll just completely break the whole thing and take a line that we never even
Yeah.
knew was there. So he's definitely
So would you say
able to
he's
do that.
quite a creative player?
Absolutely.
yeah. one of the most
Here we
creative.
go
if not
again.
the most.
Yeah, he takes it from
Yeah, he knows
that
what he's gonna
3rd
do.
from last Whoop. And so we've already seen then 3 different players doing 3 completely separate
Yeah.
lines, at least at points, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and later they'll show probably a replay with multiple
Oh,
players.
there you go. There it
Oh.
is.
All 10.
Yeah, slow it down. There you go.
And they'll all, a ton of them.
But
will
what
be
do you do
different
here?
lines.
Is that for a bounce into that? I love his crash of glory there at the end. All right, so now he's back on this.
They're also approaching the halfway point of overall time for this first track. So it's getting into
close.
that latter stage where they need to start locking down some good times.
So Gavin, who made this track, is in Twitch chat right now, and he's already saying they're still taking the wrong line.
Okay.
No way,
Yeah.
is he?
So
Yeah.
So
he-
Gavin, if you are in chat, what is the correct line, if you can summarise it slightly?
Yeah, because
Leave us a little cheeky message and let us know where there could be improvements if it's in the first quarter.
Oh, that's
middle,
nice right there.
whatever.
Gavin says he only hit the right line once when he was making this track.
Oh, okay.
wow,
Yeah.
that says a lot because
So
Gavin's
there's-
he's good. And that just goes to show you how hard it is to build these on this level. I mean, Joe, when you were building some of them, how long did they take you? I mean,
Yeah,
even
it's
with
lap
testing and
8
everything,
hours or-
yeah,
yeah,
it's insane.
it's-
We can a lot of the times bang out
Jumping in with
a
Mark
regular track
52.
in 20 minutes. Oh man. Look at James.
They all get so frustrated
Yeah.
at each other, and that's
Yeah.
something that I spoke to
Yeah.
them about yesterday when we were out having dinner. I was like, I think I mentioned, yeah, it must be great to be able to play the game at this level and know that you're able to earn money from it. And they agreed, but then they say at the same time it's massively frustrating, like the pressure is always there, and
Yeah.
we're very self-critical. And so it is just like any other esport where people are putting in like 2-3 hours a day
Yes.
at least
Yeah.
to try and be on top all the time.
Yep.
So Gavin says the fast line is to only hit it the first lap and not the second. So you don't want to go down and do that tire tap triple on the second lap. I guess you want to hit the shorter line, and then with the extra speed you have, it'll carry you over.
Oh, I see.
So
What about
you don't want to go in that dip on the second lap. I
The
think
tight
is
dip?
what Gavin's
Yeah.
telling us.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the reason James gets so nervous is because he's like the OG, like
Yeah.
if there's one name, it's
He's
him.
the man.
So I think he's trying to like live up to the expectation of him being the best.
Yeah, that's
And
what he
if
said this
fails
morning.
it,
He said
you
he
know,
feels the pressure because of being that guy, being the OG. He said there's a lot of expectation on him.
Oh, never
I've
mind.
seen
I
you-
misunderstood Gavin. He said he only hit this track clean on one lap. He never hit this track
All the way
clean.
through.
Yeah, on
Wow.
two laps.
Unbelievable.
But he is saying you do have to take the same line lap 2.
Okay.
And how long does it take to design a map like this when you're doing it for the top 12 players in the world?
Well, normally, like Justin was saying, normally we can knock out a track in like 30 minutes
Yeah.
to an hour.
Yeah,
You know,
on
no
average,
big
30
deal.
to 45 minutes.
But something like this, we work on these literally for months at a time. So what we'll do is, maybe you make a section of the track. You spend 3 hours making one section, testing it, and you take a break for a week. Then you come back, you work on another
Get
section.
fresh ideas, stuff like that.
So
yeah.
some of these tracks we've
Oh,
put in
man.
probably 8 or 10 hours on just one track.
Wow.
Yeah, especially in the testing too, because you try to make these tracks that are just insanely complex, and you have to be able to test them and make sure what you're building is actually going to work for the track. And a lot of these guys, of course, can do what some others can't. And to build stuff that's that gnarly on that, just it's like these huge jumps, you have to make sure it's clearable.
And we're taking a look now at Leo, and he's from Brazil, right? I think, is he our Brazilian player?
I believe so.
I think so.
Yes. Yep.
It is a Brazilian name. And so how does he fare in terms of the competition here? What was his path to getting here, etc.?
He's typically up there at the top of the
Is he the
jams.
one who didn't get to come last year only because of a passport issue? Or was that someone else?
It might have been him. I don't know. I can't remember, yeah.
He's been good for a long time.
Yeah.
And I think he qualified last year and then couldn't come because he couldn't get his passport figured out. I might be wrong on that.
And so, if you guys recall, when we looked at the leaderboards, there were only 11 names on them so far. That is because Leo is yet to confirm a time for himself. And I wonder if that's because he wants to get like a perfect run first time, or he's struggling to finish it with something he's satisfied
This
with.
run looks good.
Yeah, he's looking great. Just bounce that up and over. Yeah, he's definitely... So he still has yet to set a time?
Yes, he's the only one yet to set a time.
Because you can see there's no marker telling him where his ghost is.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Oh, man.
I think right now he's like, I just need to finish this, lay it down.
Yeah.
Yeah, with
You got to start dialing something in.
But man, this little double whoop section right
Oh,
here.
that's
Yeah.
brutal.
Triple.
It's brutal.
Are those
man.
Joe bumps then, Joe?
Yeah, they're
typically
pretty Joe
aggressive
bumpy.
whoops.
Yeah.
I've seen some a little Joe bumpier, but they're not
Yeah.
the Joe bumpiest.
Okay, 129. So yeah, that would put
129.
him further down the
Yeah.
table. But at least he's got a time in now. He's got a ghost to
Absolutely,
race
yeah.
against.
That's huge. I mean, he still has almost 20 minutes left.
Yeah.
So that's huge. Then, like you said, when you get the 45 minutes total, you're running a track that's taking, what were these running, about a minute? What was the best guy, like a 112
Minute
right
17.
now? Or 117, yeah. So
I think definitely 115 is possible.
yeah, to finish out an entire run, 2 laps, I mean, you've got 18 attempts left. You know, I mean, however many, depending on how many times you...
Yeah, that's a good point to start pointing out the math of that when you get into these closing stages. How many complete runs can they potentially do, and when are they going to just like put it at stake and say, I'm committing to this run and the time that I'll lose because of it.
So Gavin, the guy who made this, is saying wheel tap the start for different line at the beginning, which we know.
Yeah.
Hop out of the whoops early, but over the first jump to get maximum dive to triple out, not
Triple
double.
out?
Some done.
Oh my gosh.
And that'll set you up for the last lap. So you want to
That's
bounce out of the
insane.
whoops and then kind of like
Blast
watch your speed just hit
into
right
that
there
one.
and then blast, and you can hit a triple after.
Oh, my
Well,
God.
guys, following on from that, let's take a look at the current best run from Zach. And you guys can illustrate exactly what's going on and the different lines.
So is this the same? Is he better at his time? Or is
I
he...
think so. So, yeah, he's hit the tire tap. Or it is the one that we've already seen. So,
yeah.
I mean,
Look
the
at
time
this.
that we've seen. So he hits...
Yeah, we haven't watched the run.
The
So
tire
he's
tap.
definitely...
So let's
He's
see
got
where.
it.
Let's see. So this is
Yeah, he
goes
exactly
for
what
third.
Gavin said. Now
Yep.
here you're supposed
And
to
this is a
triple.
better
Triple?
time. He's
Yeah,
improved
so
his
he
time.
does. He hits the
So
triple.
Zach's got it, yeah.
So this is the correct line.
What a gorgeous run. I just want to go hug Zach.
Now let's see if he can do it on line. on
Look
lap
at
2.
that. It's unreal. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so you've been
Whoa,
able...
he completely
Oh,
dodges
man.
the
He
whoops
missed
there.
that
So
a
he
little.
needed to hit... Yeah, he needed to roll those in. So
Oh, he
I
kinda-
bet you he could still shave off several seconds.
Yeah,
on
at
his
least
time.
3 seconds
Yeah.
off the time.
This is unreal.
So through those whoops, there's actually a way to hit those without
That's a
actually
beautiful
going over
scrub
the
there.
whoops. You can kind of like clear them all. There's like a rhythm through there, and he messed it up a little bit.
Yes.
Oh, my gosh.
But he bounces it again, lap 2.
He's really making good work of your
Does
whoops,
he hit the
Joe.
triple? Yeah, he hits
Oh, my
the
gosh.
triple.
Yeah, he's got it dialed.
Let's see if he can hit the whoop section clean here.
My favorite part about this, too, is he's got this sit so nice, and he still has over 15 minutes left.
There we go.
Exactly. He's in a
So
good
there-
Oh,
position.
yeah, there it is.
So there's the rhythm you want. And
Oh, and he, oh my
Ooh.
God.
Yep.
Tap scrubbed it.
That's what you
This
want.
guy.
That-
right there.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but that last bit wasn't absolutely perfect, but it was very close to being...
Very close.
Yeah.
The track builder's watching Gavin. He just said, "Yep, he's got it."
He's got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's it. He's got
that's
the line.
That's the standard right there.
I knew he'd do it. I knew he'd figure it out. It's unreal, man.
Now we are jumping in with Zele.
Yep.
Now this is.
Yes, silly.
Oh yeah. It looked like from the picture. It looked like it was scrubs.
Oh, yeah. All right, so let's see where he's rolling. This track is nuts. See, now I'm going to have to go back and play this and try that line because that is not the line I was taking.
Oh, so he's done like a double tire tap there off a whoop onto like the little wall
so
at the
he's-
end.
Yeah,
Totally wrong line, but
yeah, totally.
Greer said in chat he's not human. about Zach. Zach's line.
Yeah, he's not.
We will be doing a test to see if he has enhanced cybernetic robotics
Yeah.
installed, so don't worry. This is a clean competition with no nanotechnology allowed.
Wow. Look at this. And he's using auto gas.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
So explain to me what that is
So
then.
there's several different control schemes in the game, and what he's doing, typically I think what most players do, is they have a gas brake on the left.
Oh, so his is constantly accelerating
His
unless he
has
brakes.
full-on acceleration,
Yeah.
yeah, and then the red is hard brake, and then the yellow kind of just a softer, slower down.
Yellow's just coast. So
Coast,
the
okay,
yellow
yeah,
one
yeah.
just kills the throttle, but doesn't apply
Yeah,
brake.
okay.
The red one applies brake.
And which control scheme would you say is most popular? The default
The
or
default.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is not the default.
I have tried the auto gas, and I might as well just not even hold my phone. I'm horrible.
Yeah.
It's very hard. I mean, I guess if you played it all the time, you could get
Play with your
used to it.
feet, Justin.
Yeah, I know. Mad Toes Motocross. That's how you get that.
I'm sure that would have
I
an
want
audience.
that to be the next game. We're gonna. Make
I'm
that
sure
happen.
that would actually
Yeah.
have an audience as well.
Bob
This
and
looks
Chad
like a decent run, guys. He's been hitting, I think, an okay line.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely a decent
This
time.
is lap 2 now as well.
He won't be last if he hits this.
Go run a magnet on GSE, see if it sticks to him. Yeah, he's a robot. I'm telling you.
Ooh. Close to the end here, right?
Yeah.
Is he on lap 1 or 2? Though?
This is lap 2.
okay. So he's good.
Yeah.
This whoop section, then he's done.
Yep.
So right here, bounce down the hill, done.
Yep.
Nice.
Good time. Good
Yeah,
improvement.
Interesting to
You've
see
got
what
a
the
heck of a
time
track
is
here,
there,
buddy.
actually, for him. That looked pretty good.
Yeah.
122.
122. So.
Climbing. Depending on where we are on the leaderboard
So that was
overall.
right around
Hopefully
where
we can get that
Master
up
52
shortly.
was
Another leaderboard.
on his last time he looked at Masters time.
Some of you guys will see different helmets these guys are wearing, and you might be wondering, how do I get that helmet in the game? Some of them they got awarded to for winning the championship last year. So Bragstad has a gold helmet.
Yeah.
Master 52 has a silver helmet.
Could they choose, or did you guys have those selected out already for the placings?
We selected them for him.
Oh, okay,
and then
nice.
anyone who placed top 1,000 in the qualifier last year has a special helmet as well.
I got that. I just want
Nice.
to point out that I got that.
I didn't, but I wasn't
Top
allowed
1,000
to.
hype, boys.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're
It's
looking
always
at,
good to have exclusive
yeah.
swag.
This is Julito BMX right here. He seems to have pretty good momentum going into these whoops right here. Insane though.
Yeah, missed the rhythm.
I bet Gavin's sitting at home laughing right now. Mwaha.
Manically.
Yeah, just
You're an evil man, Gavin.
they're nuts.
And you're from the UK, so I like you a lot.
He's one of the most meticulous track builders. So like
It's insane.
He
Yeah.
will go over. Like he spends so much time on these. He wants everything just perfect.
Yeah.
And that's awesome when you got a track builder who's
Yeah.
That thorough with their work,
Yeah.
right?
So who knows if you're still watching this, it'd be interesting to know how many hours you think you put in this. But I know for me personally, the ones I made, I was putting 10 hours plus into each of them.
Yeah.
He probably did the same at least.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well,
Goodness,
we're
that's a lot.
down to 12 minutes, so even in the best case scenario, they can have 10 full runs probably, and that's of course unlikely. They're probably going to be restarting, and so looking at the leaderboard would be very interesting in this final quadrant of the first track.
So
Try and get it up shortly.
I think this is probably one of your followers that's popping in chat. Jastrup CS.
Okay, hello.
He's like, what are we watching? This is Mansfield's Motocross. It's a mobile game. He goes, is it like, I don't know, hard?
It is very difficult.
What's
can
the prize
confirm.
pool? Prize pool's $30,000.
$30,000, $10K for first. And these guys are currently on the first track of 12 over 2 days. Thank you for dropping by and stick around. Tell your friends it's something different, and I'm very much happy to be checking it out on a competitive level for the first time.
Yeah, it's intense. All right, so we have Nate here, Nate Rader, and our 502 in the game, and he's always laying down some cool stuff. Has a very colorful skin.
Yeah, so what's
combination
going on there with the back tire? He's got the all white and then purple
Yeah, running the purple
harness
back.
and the
Now,
purple tire.
I know that some guys do that so they have a visual difference between them, because depending on where you look when you play, because if you think about it, I look in different spots than some people would. He is really banging that right there. Wow.
Is that a good line?
Nah,
No,
he would have nailed it.
it's just
He
slightly
lost his
off.
line. So a lot of guys use those different colored tires as a visual reference.
A visual cue.
Yeah. Yep. So they know where the differentiator is between the front and the back.
in-game proficiency and fashion conscious.
It does look good. I know.
We like that. I do.
Well, he matches too. It looks.
I
great.
am an in-game item guy. I do like that sort of stuff, skins
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
pretty things to play.
Yeah.
If I'm buying a new game, I like to buy the special edition to get some extra armor,
Absolutely.
whatever.
In-game cash.
Yeah, exactly. I certainly do like the outfits here.
Yeah, there was a thing I had to hide from my wife. I on Heroes of the Storm, I paid like $20 to get the Rainbow Unicorn mount, and I've never told her that, and I never will. But
Yeah,
if she's watching this, then she just found out.
Justin's wife, we do apologise, but he's sorry, not sorry. if you
Yeah.
know. Yeah,
I love my Rainbow Unicorn
there's a
mount.
game that I've been playing recently, of course, and other games I've played where I've spent far too much on in-game
Yeah.
stuff, and so it certainly is alluring. You know, if you can, if you can afford doing it, it makes you happy. Why not? And
Yeah.
I definitely think the skins in Mad Skills are pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, they're just getting better too. Like even like in Mad Skills BMX, the newest game,
Yeah.
the skins in there you can't beat.
Yeah.
They're so good. They just keep getting better.
And so we're jumping on with Bidus or Beedus, and for him, it's Christmas all year round.
I know,
Hopefully,
it's just-
hopefully he can deliver himself a present of first place. We'll have to see. 9 minutes remain. We're really getting into the crunch time now, guys.
Whoa.
Are you expecting to see more mistakes? Do you expect to see more aggression? What are
Yes.
these guys going to be trying to do in these closing moments?
They are going to be going all out. They're going to try stuff that it's just going to be more aggressive. You're going to see that even the movement in their bike is going to be more aggressive. The scrubs are going to be harder. They're going to be cranking as hard as
Ooh,
possible.
that's interesting.
Wowza.
Yeah, that was a mistake.
Yeah.
It wasn't interesting, it was a mistake. I was like, this is a huge wall to try and jump over from there.
Yeah, the easy line seems to be easy.
Oh,
here we
that's
go.
huge.
Yeah. It's a little fast
Can
on
you
that,
get the
though.
triple though?
Huge tire tap.
Almost,
Barely.
yeah, is he gonna
I don't
clear
know if
this
he's got
though?
enough to clear.
No.
Nope.
No.
He almost had it,
Missed
though.
the line.
Yeah, he's got it. He's just got to crank it out. And that's a stretch there, too.
I don't know. 8
Ooh,
minutes.
yeah, he just missed that shortly.
But you're supposed to hit the tire tap to triple over that, right? Or do this?
You can do that.
You can do either one, I guess.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
You'll end up
And
eventually
so-
in the same spot.
I can let you guys know that Beedus Michael is currently in second.
Wow.
So if he is
Really?
taking a line that is a bit unexpected, it's potentially one that's
Could take
working. And
over.
Joe, maybe he's gamed Gavin's track pretty well.
yeah. So if he can throw in a hot time and beat his ghost, he might bump into
He could
first.
top this, man. That's crazy. Yeah, we'll look at the times in a minute, too, because it'll be interesting to see how everybody has progressed over the last few minutes.
And guys, before we get into the final minutes of the match, let's take a look at the leaderboard during this crunch time. So Zach's 114. So you said maybe a 112 could be maximal or optimal,
Yeah.
but he's 2 seconds off that. Then it's Beedus in second with 117, and it's Bragstad make it into third, but he's 4 seconds behind second place. And then we start seeing things getting closer between Cuddler and Master as we descend further into our leaderboard.
Man, like you said, so he ended
Ascend, I should
Zach-
say, technically.
Yeah. So Zach ended up shaving 8 seconds is what he ended up off of that time.
Yeah. And then things, are relatively close. With Jolito then 3 seconds
Yeah.
behind 8th.
Boy, there is a big
And Leo hasn't
difference
managed to
between the
improve
times.
at all. Yeah, exactly.
Very big difference.
So that's 17 seconds roughly between first and last.
Wow.
Huge.
That's
That's
a huge
insane.
difference, right? In a
Yeah.
game that's like is it time trial is the right word, where it's like you're comparing your
Yeah.
time like in a racing sport.
Yeah, and you're
17
talking down
seconds
to-
is absolutely huge.
Yeah, and this measures to the thousandth. Actually,
Yeah.
beyond that. Well, what's
Yeah.
visual is to the thousandth of a second. So it's insane. We've seen times be within 1/1000th of a second.
Interesting that
It's crazy.
Bragstad's not taking the fast line. You can see, we were talking about his helmet earlier. This is the gold helmet for him winning last year.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's looking very, very pretty. Is that the faster line there that he adjusted to, or no?
No, he's not. He's not hitting
Yeah.
the tire
He's
tap
not hitting
here.
the tire tap, is he?
Yeah.
No. Maybe he's just more comfortable with trying to optimize the one that he's on, or would you say that that's a mistake not being able to identify the fastest line?
Could very well be.
Yeah, I don't know.
I just
We'll
don't
have
see
to,
that
we'll
with
have to
him,
talk
man.
to him after and see
Yeah.
if he knew about the line and just didn't want to go for it.
Yeah.
Because there is a lot of risk versus reward
There is.
with regards to the line that you pick,
Big
right?
time, yeah.
And if there is a line that's slightly slower but you can be better at, that's a risk, but it could pay off more.
Yeah.
And there could be a line that's harder, but if you take the risk to really attack it, you're going to get massively rewarded, right?
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
And a lot of the times in a situation like this, it's worth taking that risk if you know you can get that line down.
It's not. This part's not a huge difference because either line you take, it puts you back into the same line on the second half of the track.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's just this first section that it's different. But right here is where it ends up
This is
Yeah,
where
going right back
costing
to the same line.
Oh, okay.
So he might just play this out and just
Is
see
that
if he can
adapted?
improve.
Is he just freestyled that
could be,
completely?
yeah. The problem though is if you end up in that line right there, that step up that's so vertical, you're going to lose all your forward momentum anyway, jumping over into that. So it's really going to change the outcome of your overall time.
Yeah. It is, I think, something to note that the way you pick your lines earlier on completely changes the dynamic of your run later.
Yes.
Because it changes your selection of the lines that you have approaching the end of a track and the middle of a track.
Yeah.
So you have to be very careful with those decisions you make at the start and where they land you, right, Joe?
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. These guys are picky too. He keeps
Whoa.
restarting, and I'm thinking some of these times I think he could beat. So it's like, does he want to just try to inch ahead, or is he really trying to go for a banger?
Just set out the perfect run.
Well, now's the chance, guys. You've got pretty much, let's be realistic, two. You can't really fit in three at this point.
Yeah,
two
two
full
solid
runs.
runs.
Like you should start trying to slam a couple out.
Yeah, because it's getting down to the wire now.
Yes.
So let's clarify some stuff too. That last year, every track someone would get knocked out of the competition. So the loser last year of each track would get knocked out of the competition. This year we're not doing that. So this year, all 12 of these guys are playing all day today. There's going to be 6 tracks today. We showed the point system earlier. They're going to get points. First place gets 20. It goes all the way down to 12th place. What was it? 2 points for 12th place?
I think it was 1 point.
Was it?
I think, yes. We'll get clarification on it, but it was
Either way-
20 down to a very low denomination.
Point system. So then at the end of today, whoever has the top 4 points go to the upper bracket tomorrow. The middle 4 go to the lower bracket tomorrow. Bottom 4 points don't go tomorrow. They're done. The competition's over.
Yeah.
So these guys are just trying to get the best placement they can, get the most points they can.
Yeah, and I think the time doing this points-based system this time is really going to be interesting.
Yeah,
A lot
well,
more
with
fun.
2 minutes 30 remaining, we can take a look at that leaderboard again, and it's relatively similar. Zach up in first. I'm not sure if he's improved there. He's still in his 1 minute 14th second, and then Beedis in second, and then Bragstad again still about 4 seconds behind, and it's Cuddler and Master following up, and they're relatively close, third place to 5th. Zach is just getting off to a flying start.
Oh, he's tearing it up, man.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. You thought he'd come back with a vengeance, guys, and he's got
I
off
think
to.
it's happening.
Yeah.
He's got what he needed in
Yeah.
this first
Absolutely.
track.
Yeah, I think he's making a statement too with this first one, because he was honestly one of the top runners last year.
Yeah.
And to get knocked out where he did, I really do think that he's back here for revenge, 100% full on, and he can do it if he continues to play.
Beedis, you're in
way
second
Ethan
place.
does.
If you would like to get that first place, you have 1 minute 30 remaining. Unless you restart now, this is it. This is it. This is like your
Yeah.
last chance unless you restart in the next 3 to 4 seconds. All right. I'm not sure if you're aware of that, but
Here we go.
let's take a look, guys.
This is going to be it. So he's fighting for first. He's in second now, and he is.
Yeah, can he flip it around? He almost nailed it.
So
almost got that.
1/3. Oh no,
Yeah.
you can't do a 110. Is that
I mean,
possible?
if it was totally perfect, he maybe. But it's like
He's looking
not
up at the
happening.
clock, I think, looking.
I bet he wants to throw that phone so hard right now.
Yeah, that was poor time management, and I think at this
Yeah.
stage, that's the thing. These guys playing at home, they don't have to manage their time, like we mentioned at the start. And now, guys, you have to keep an eye on how long you've got left
Yep.
and use it wisely, because otherwise you might end up in a position like that where you restart 1 minute 15 left, and if it's a track that you think is around that time it takes to finish, then you've wasted one final shot.
Yeah,
And like
yeah.
Eminem said, don't miss your chance to blow.
Yeah, we're looking at Pekla
Question
here.
is this lap 2 or lap 1? If this is lap 2, he can
He is
finish
killing
it.
it.
If it's
Yeah.
lap
It
1,
looks like
I don't
a
know
lap
if he
2,
has
right,
time.
considering the
Oh
pace.
boy, look at this. Bounce. There you go. Is this it?
Ooh.
No.
Oh, no, he's not
There's
going to be
no
able
way.
to finish
19
it.
seconds is
Yeah.
not enough time.
I thought he was going so fast. So
He
he's
was
blistering.
killing it, man.
Yeah, no. And it looked like, ooh, no, he
Oh,
was screwed
man.
up anyway.
Yeah, he was killing it. All right, so that is it.
Yes, that will be it. And we can find out very shortly exactly where everything finished. And welcome back to the studio. You can see it. This is how we watch the game,
We
by
did,
the
yeah.
way. We recline back. We have our big screen up there. And that was really a pleasure for me for the first time to see this played on a competitive level. And that's just the first track. And you've said already, you've clarified that there are some even crazier tracks coming.
Yep.
Like this
Oh,
is
yeah.
kind of a soft start, so to speak.
This is nothing.
There were some,
Yeah.
I mean, that start was tricky. Multiple lines at the
Yeah.
start. The tire tap was tricky. Some of the guys didn't even see it. Also, that whoop bounce is incredibly difficult. So this track was a difficult track, but there are going to be some harder ones.
Yeah, and looking at the finish for that, so you're looking at a pretty good separation in
Oh,
time.
Zele managed to jump up into third place within that last few
He
minutes.
did.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's
Nice.
Zach up
We'll definitely
top.
wanna look at
He
that.
didn't improve on that 1:14. Then it's Beedus in second. And Zele, yeah, he got ahead of Bragstead, Kudla,
Unreal.
and Master to make third
Oh,
place.
Kudla ended up in fifth, so he cranks back up there quite a bit because he was down towards the bottom when we first looked at leaderboards a while back.
Yeah.
Lito's up there in seventh, Pekla in eighth. Yeah, Master slotted in that number 6, and our 502 at 9. Sir Scrubs at 10, I-90 MX Park at 11, and Leo banging in that 12 slot. So
To get off to a good start in any competitive sort of event is so useful because it gives you that early momentum and confidence in yourself, right? And I imagine it's no difference here.
yeah, absolutely.
So how do you think Zach is feeling then?
He looks like he's feeling great. Look at him. That's the face of determination.
He's like, look, I beat you with this.
he's,
Watch-
he's playing
watch me."
Angry Birds right now. Don't worry about him. Yeah. But yeah, so he was our top spot. So he'll take the 20.
I think they might be trying to do some like Google Translate type stuff or
Yeah,
something.
they probably are. Still trying to figure out.
Some of
if
the
he's a
guys here
robot.
don't speak English, so
Yeah. Yeah. There he is. So
Okay. I wonder what they're discussing then, like approaches or...
could be.
I don't know.
Probably just discussing the track. Like, what the
Maybe
heck did
Zach
we
was just
get
trying to
ourselves
Google
into?
Translate, like, look, I beat you, sucker.
Yeah. That's
Do you know where Joe is?
Numero 10. Yeah, so he's, so Zach laid out that top time there. And I expected that. I really did. I knew that he would
Well,
be
you've
able to
been
do it.
monitoring like his progress, right, as
Yes.
of recent, and he's been putting
Yeah.
in a lot of time and been getting some great times overall,
Yep.
correct?
Yeah. Yeah, he's always at the top. And he's one of those guys that you expect to be up there. And I know that he takes the game so serious, if not more serious than anybody, that when he can't get into that top spot, he wants to fight even harder to get there. So
Yeah.
And you saw that. You saw that this time because it's definitely his ability to deconstruct those tracks, figure out the fast line, and then execute is where he shines.
See, I think he was one of the fastest to pick up the fast line, so
Yeah.
he had more time to just try to
Way more time.
to just
Yeah.
nail it down.
And this is just our first track. Is there a level of warming up going on and also getting used to the competition atmosphere? I'd imagine it's just the same as any other esport where starting off is going to be slower than when you get rolling, so to speak.
Yeah.
I think so, but I think we're also going to get to a point towards the end of the day where fatigue comes in too, because sitting there on your little mobile device playing.
Oh, yeah.
Gaming is tiring. We
Yeah,
all
mean,
know.
you
it
get
really
in this
is.
game. You get what's called I like to call flat thumbs because
Flat
Yeah,
thumb.
because me and him we'll do a stream.
You
for
lose
just a
like the
couple.
finesse or like they just
yeah.
get all...
You gotta plump them up. No,
Okay.
Well, me and him we'll play for an hour, 2 hours straight, and it's like, man, I can't even. My thumbs
hurts.
don't do things anymore. So I don't know if these guys have calluses or what's going on, but
Yeah.
they're on a different level as far as that ability to do that. So
Awesome. Well, guys, that is the first track all said and done, and it was Zach that came out on top with a fantastic time of 1 minute and 14 seconds. Now we will be going away for a short 5-minute break, and we will be back for track number 2 very soon. Well, directly after that. So we will see you then.
yeah.